Hello everyone, welcome to this video in which I'll be showing you how to access and run the source code for this particular chat application. I had created this chat application a while back using React.js on the front end and using Node.js, Express and Socket.io on the back end. We used Socket.io for real-time messaging, notification, and also to see online users on our system. The reason why I am coming back to this particular application is because many of you requested further improvements on this particular application. Some of you wanted to see rooms or groups being added to the application. Some of you wanted to see this application being mobile responsive. Some of you wanted to see how we can get to deploy our chat application, and we'll be able to make those improvements now. So you can get to comment whatever improvements that you want to see on this particular application. So if you want to see or learn how you can get to create this particular application from scratch, I have a complete series and I'll leave a link at the description section below to it, where we create everything from introduction to APIs to everything on the UI and the backend in this particular series. Okay, so I'll leave a link to it at the description section below. So if you need to access the source code for this particular application, the source code will be available on my Patreon. Unfortunately, the source code is not free because I usually use a lot of time and a lot of hard work for me to come up with this particular application, and YouTube doesn't get to pay much. So the best way that you can reward me for creating all these courses is to join as a patron, and you will get access not only to this particular chat application but to all the other applications that I have worked on here on YouTube. You'll get access, for example, to a video call application using WebRTC and Socket.io. You'll get access to a full stack hotel booking web app. You'll get access to a full stack e-commerce web app using Next.js, and so much more. All the other apps are just here. So for just $5 per month, you will get access to all this. You can support me for a few months, or you can support me for as long as you want. But if you want to purchase this source code for the chat app, just one-time purchase, you can come here and you can buy it just for $3, but that will be only one time, and by buying this only, you'll not get access to the others. So you can see the benefit of joining as a member. But this is the best way that you can get to support my content. And what you'll need to do once you join as a member is to just click on this zipped file. So once you click, this will start a download on your machine. You'll select where you want to download the file at, and I'll save it on YouTube apps. So I'll go ahead and save. So you can see it's saved as a zipped file. So you need to unzip this file. So right click, and then you'll see extract all. Then you extract and you choose the location where you want to extract. I will extract it just right here. So I'll go ahead and extract that, and it will load and complete. Now we have it here. Now, as you can see, we have this folder, and when I click, we have another folder like that one. So what I like to do is to click on this, then Control X, then go one step back and paste, so that we only have one main folder. So now when I click on this, we don't see the other folder, we just get this content of our application. And as you can see, we had three parts of this particular application. We had client, we had server, and we had socket server. Now in this particular video, I'll show you how we can run this application with the three parts. And then in the next video, I'll show you how we can combine the server and the socket server so that it's easier to deploy this application. We can deploy client and we can deploy server. So we will not have a third deployment, only two deployments. So I'll show you how we can combine those two. And then on another video, I'll show you how to deploy the application. The next thing that you do is to open this on your code editor. I use Visual Studio Code and I open it like this, CMD here at the path. Then I'll open that on command prompt. This is for Windows, and here I can say code space and a period. I hit enter, and that folder will open on Visual Studio Code, and here we are. Another alternative, you can open Visual Studio Code first, and then you can drag and drop this folder in Visual Studio Code. I actually didn't show you the demo of the application. The application still works, and you can see it wasn't mobile responsive, so we'll be making it to be mobile responsive, but it still works. So if I say hi and we click on send, you'll see here we have hi, and that was real time, and it came directly right here. So if I happen to refresh here so that no chat is open here, and I come back right here and we send another hi and we send, you'll see we also had this notification, which was really cool, and you can click on the notification to see it here. Also, we were not saving the notification on the database, so we don't see previous notifications. So if you want me to add the notification to the DB, let me know. Also, we didn't add a way of closing a chat. There are many things that we didn't add on this particular application. Even the voice chat, we don't have voice chat, we don't have sending images on the chat. So let me know if you want to see these features, okay? So I just wanted to show you that the app still works. The first thing that you will need to do is to install the various dependencies for each of these sections, okay? So open the terminal here, say new terminal. We need to go to each of these directories. So we'll say cd client and hit enter, and for client we'll say npm I and hit enter. That will install the different dependencies from package.json file right here. So it will install all this. Now come here and click on plus. That will add another terminal. Once it adds another terminal, we can go inside the server directory. So here just say cd server, hit enter. And for server, we need to install the various packages from package.json file, all this. So here we'll say npm I as well and hit enter. Now we also need to go inside our socket directory. So click on plus to add another terminal. And here we will go ahead and install the various dependencies npm I and hit okay. No. We need to say cd socket to go to that directory first and then npm I for install, and we install dependencies in our socket right there. Now if you go to the server here and go to the .env, you'll see we had these environment variables. So we need to configure these variables. The first thing that we'll do is to add a JWT secret key, and this is just a random string. So I'll just type it out like that randomly. And then for Atlas URI, this is for MongoDB. So we need to create a MongoDB database, and then we'll add that URL or URI to it right here. So we'll come back to the browser. Then I'll come here and I'll say MongoDB, and I'll open here. So you'll need to either create an account or log into your account. And what I'll do, I think I'll sign in. I'll continue with Google. I'll have here projects, so you can go to projects and you can see I already have some. So what I'll do, I'll add a new project, and here I'll say man -chat. I'll just create a project. We'll add a cluster, and we'll go with this one. This is free, so click on this one, free one, or you can pay for anyone that you like there. So I'll go ahead and create deployment, which will take some time. So we have some checks here. We need to do base call. Do I know how a base call look like? Then here you need to add a username for the database and a password. So username, I'll say 123. Password, I'll say 123. Don't use weak username and password like me though. So I'll go ahead and create that database user. Choose connection method. So we'll come to MongoDB here. So it's waiting for the cluster to complete the creation so that we get a connection string. So here we'll say done, okay, and then I'll show you how we'll access that later on. So what you need to do now is to come to network access. So only this IP address will be able to access the cluster. I don't want that. I want it to be accessed from everywhere, because the IP address changes, and therefore in future we get issues, especially on development. So what we need to do is to make it to be accessible from anywhere, and during development that will not have issues. But once you deploy, you should like specify the IP address so that your database is much more secure. So I'll go back to overview. It is still being created. Okay, so we'll wait for this one to complete. So I can go back to Visual Studio Code, and if I check, I can see these completed, these completed, and these completed. Now, to run the server and the socket IO, we will need to make use of nodemon. Now, nodemon allows us to auto refresh the server or the socket server whenever we make a change to the server. So we don't need to learn the server again. So here npm I -g to install nodemon globally and say nodemon, okay, or nodemon. npm I -g nodemon, that will install nodemon globally. Okay, so we'll be able to use it both here on socket and here on our server. Very nice. So let's see if this completed creating. It have completed. Come here to connect, then go now to our MongoDB for VS Code, and you'll see this URL. So copy that link, then go to your code, go to .env file and add it right here. Once you add it right here, we have the username here, but we need to add the DB password here. So remove that section and include your password. And by just doing that, we have set up our database. Now, to run the application is pretty easy. We come to the client and we say npm run dev, and that will run the client using vit, and this is the link for running the client. Then we will come here and run the backend, say nodemon or nodemon, hit enter, and that will run our server, our node server. And for the socket server, we'll come to this other one and we'll say the same, nodemon, and hit enter, and that will run the socket server. So once we do that, we just need to access this client URL. So I'll click on the client here, and that should open on the browser. I want to register, not log in, because we don't have a user. Sorry for that. So I'll say Chaoo here, then here chaoo@gmail, add a password. I can copy that and paste it here and register that user. Password must be a strong password. So I'll use a strong password with letters and numbers, and I will register. Now, as you can see, it created the account. So let's go on another browser, or you can go on an incognito tab and you access this URL. So it's localhost 51 something, localhost 5173. Then you'll get here, and you can see we have this Chaoo here. Okay, very nice. And let me log out actually, because I should log in or register as a user here. Then I enter just a random password there. I'll not be logging out, so I'll register. And once I log in, you'll see that we have these here. And unfortunately, now we don't see if this user is online. So what we can do, I think we already have an issue going on, because I don't think our socket is working. And voila, as you can see, our socket is not working. This has been blocked by COS because this is not equal to the supplied origin. So the URL are not matching up. So what you can do, you can copy this link, then go to the socket server. I don't think the socket server is working. Go to the socket server, go to index.js inside our socket, and you'll change this URL to this one, to localhost that one. Then remove that /. So go ahead and save. Okay, now once we do that, our socket server, I think, should restart or something. And as you can see now, we are able to see some connected user, which is cool. So we go back here, let's refresh here, and also from here we refresh. And now you can see that once we do that, you can see this green dot showing that we have a user who is online. To initiate a chat, we were just clicking on this, and we have created a chat with Chaoo there, and once I come here, I can text him, hi there. I send the message, and once I send, you can see they get the message, and the chat here is automatically created. You can see they have a notification, Chaoo1 sent you a message, and the time. We click on this and we get our message, hi there. So this is really cool because our application is running. So this is all I wanted to show you in this particular video, to show you how to access the source code and how you can run the source code. Now, in the next video, we will continue on and I'll show you how you can combine the server and the socket together so that we only have one backend, one server to deploy. And that will be easier to deploy, okay? Because right now, as you can see, we have two terminals where we are running our backend. So I'll see you on the next video. If you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up and I'll see you on the next one.